Hey, David, this is a quick overview or some feedback from your digitising. First of all, generally excellent. You appear to have picked up all of the kind of broad techniques that I was talking about in the videos. So what I want to do now is actually show where you've got some problems and things to do to actually solve those problems. So this is the original digitising. Tysoe field boundaries. Let's just have a quick look at it. I will have it as a simple line. Stick that as whatever colour, it doesn't really matter. And we can go through and we can have a look at what's been going on here. Okay, so as you can see, let's get rid of this parish boundary. It's a useful thing, but it does get in the way. Now, I've been digitising lines along, hardish detail. So, this isn't actually meant to be the road. It's meant to be the field boundary, and this field boundary is delineated by hedges. And so I've put my boundary elements within the hedge. I've probably done a bit better there. But you see, everything follows these hedge lines. Okay, and what we're trying to do is actually create, polygonal parcels of land. We know that there's little entrances here and here, for example, and trackways that run up between the fields, but we're not overly interested in those at the moment. We don't necessarily need to capture them. Similarly here, we just got quite a crude outline of what's going on with that building, and here we've just chosen one line to represent as a field edge. I suppose we could have actually chosen both those and then closed it in, which is actually, thinking about it, would be better for that little instance, just have another little line in there. Anyway, be that as it may, can be added to later on. Here, again, this is a boundary that can change. That could probably have been a little bit better there. Okay, so anyway, starting to give you a bit of an insight into some of the digitising decisions that went on with the stuff that I did. And the line work down here is actually pretty horrific. Why I went around like that, I don't actually know at all. This should be out here. Anyway, I might just try to fix that now, actually, while I'm here. So let's get the settings on, snapping options. We're looking at pixels. We're looking at a 5 pixel. So we want to the second segment. Okay, and we will start editing that layer. And what we're going to do is we're going to split the feature from there, going across here, running into here. Right click, brilliant. And we'll take this up here, bring it up to there, right click. Oh, why are you not closing? Okay. And then what we're going to do is save that there. Come down to this here. And okay, so we've now actually got the geometry fixed. We now just need to then merge it into what it should have been in the first place, which is this and this. So I'm using Control to select two, and merge, and okay. Okay, it should have been this, this, and this as one. Control click, and merge, merge, and okay. So hey, we can all make mistakes. Broadly, we're trying to get this tied in with the hedge lines, for example. And so we're separating out very broadly the urban from the rural and the parkland. And we've got some ribbon furrow in there as well. Okay, so that's great. Now, let's go and have a look at the stuff that you've done. And save those edits and stop editing. Okay, let's add that in. And browse. Now what I've done is I've taken stuff that you've done out of digitizing, I've renamed the backup file Tysoe fields. In backup we have the Tysoe field that you did. Right, for a start, as you can see, you've truncated everything to the parish. Kind of, yes, I know that's what you want to do, but no, that's not what you should be doing now. Because you can truncate that to the parish by a field clipping technique. You just give everything, and as we showed in the previous video, we can give those polygons an attribute of Tysoe parish, and then just filter out the stuff that belongs to Tysoe. And so you can do all of that as a subsequent issue. Okay, you're now just throwing away the data, and this might be good data that John Hunter wants to use, for example, and then you're starting to essentially diverge your data sets, and that ends up not being a good thing. So that's the first thing. Don't get rid of anything if you don't have to, because you can actually, once you've got it all in there, you can create derivatives. So once you've got all of those fields tagged up as they belong to Tysoe parish, you can just pull it all out. Not a problem. Okay, so that's the first thing. Don't get rid of data if you don't have to. The second element is digitizing choices. So let's also put this down to a simple line. Let's choose a different color. Okay, and okay, so we see we have obviously very close comparisons within here. The other nice thing, actually, before I move on to the next thing, is that you've actually.
Are you free to bring them in to flip again?
In about 5 minutes I will be. Is this a question from Mummy?
Yeah.
Okay, tell Mummy in about 5 minutes I'll be able to. Okay, sorry about that. We then need to look at kind of the digitizing decisions that have gone on. Now, okay, I got rid of quite a lot of that, and you'll need to see essentially my stream of consciousness video where I looked at this. You have things that are called overshoots and undershoots, and you'll see those in the previous video. Now, here, for example, there seems to be a bit of confusion about what's going on with the headland. Now, this is a headland area surrounding each field. It's actually part of what is the broader field outside. It's an area which is a combination of set aside and also used to turn machines around. So you don't need all of that. This should all be merged into a single field. Also an issue about kind of where fields end. This is your field ending bit here. What you want is this field and that field. You don't have that for a minute because they actually move through. I know this is a trackway running in, but we're looking at this as a field-based division. So that needs sorting out. Here you have what's referred to as a sliver polygon. A little bit of excessive snapping going on there. That needs sorting out and merging into, again, a proper unit. There also seems to be digitizing outside of your scale. This field boundary isn't here. It is one straight line. What it is following this bit here and then moving in and then following down here. That, I think, is part of the field. That is your field boundary. And I understand and agree with you to actually segment this out, which wasn't what I was doing at this bit here, because I stopped it. And you've actually started to extend it, although I might have extended it from this point here. It doesn't really matter. But then again, that's a cartographic thing. It's, horses for courses, you make a choice. But, partially the point is starting to do this in a consistent manner. Okay, so those need sorting out. This upper boundary here is a little too jagged. Nature doesn't do jagged, and this is essentially a a river channel, I believe, which is why you've got so much vegetation in it. I would have done that in a much more sinuous way. And let's follow this around here. Ultimately, that at some point in time you're going to have that as an area of woodland. So I would follow a field boundary around here in a much more sinuous manner. All right. What else? Okay. Yeah. It's around this area. Hang on, Maria. Okay. That actually looks quite good. Okay. You have issues again with dual digitizing there. That's a sliver polygon that you can merge out. That's not been snapped up to the line. Again, those things can be fixed. You just need to have the eye to fix them. But I'm assuming here that what we were looking at earlier is what you did first, because this looks like it's much better quality in respect to you're following the lines within the satellite, within the aerial, could be more better. Although here, for example, again, it's a little bit jagged. You should be coming around this bit and up here, so it's you might have been out to do finer scale here for that to work effectively. So I think in general there is some excellent work going on here. I'm going to turn that off. Why you've chosen that as a way to go through that, I don't know. Is that kind of being slightly slavish to the parish boundary? Let's have a look. Yes, it is. Don't be slavish to the parish boundary. Keep in what's there, I would say. You can cut these things out later on if you believe in that boundary. We can use that as part of a geometric intersection, which we've shown earlier. Yeah, that's about it. Okay, right. My recommendation is that you go back and you redigitize this from scratch. You've learnt a lot. That's really, really good. Okay, excellent. Thank you.